Make sure y'all hit the like button. We will be going on in just a few. 4 o'clock. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm back. I've been putting in work. I told y'all that I will be putting in extra work. Okay, I told you guys. I have been doing and putting in more work here, more content. I have so much to show you guys, so much to give. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give more content to my people here on YouTube, like I promised. Like I said, once I had got my son behind me and a lot of other personal things, I was going to come back to YouTube and do more content. There's some concerns. What's going on? I did it. But thank you guys who showed up this morning and was able. Everybody was able to check out the video that I was talking about this morning. That happened in Cincinnati, Ohio. Now I am discussing another incident that probably got past a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys probably got past. It's what's going on in North Carolina. What's going on in North Carolina? Okay. And the reason why I have to do content like this and this is because there's a lot of things that are happening amongst our community with these sundown times. Okay, and it maybe once, maybe an incident that happens every blue moon, but this is starting to be more frequency. That I mean, they're having so many incidents where melanated truck drivers are either getting unalived or harassed in these towns. And I used to just be putting it off, and there's a lot of danger out here. I'm a truck driver, so I know. Okay, I be all over these states. That's why I'm always equipped in trying to protect myself. Shout out to Big Dog Philly. Shout out to Empress. Shout out to DB. Are you with me? You know what I'm saying? All the great people that are coming into the chat. Uh, but like I said, it's I thought about this young man who was only going to do his job. He was only going to do his job, and he had his dog with him, and they ended up on a site. They ended up on a job site. You said the music is too loud. I can't hear you. Is the music still going on? I shouldn't have music on no more. Is the music still on? Let me know if the music is still on. I thought the music was off. I don't hear no music. Wow, hold on one second. I shouldn't be hearing music. Give me 1 second, y'all. Oh, this stuff. That's these new setups, y'all. Give me 1 second. Okay, let me take it off. Okay, let me know if you guys hear the music now. Let me know if you guys hear the music now. That was weird. You guys still hear the music? Is it still going on? Big Dog Philly, is the music still going on? Okay, all right. I didn't have it on a pause. Anyway, there's a lot of new features that I've been dealing with my content. A lot of them are more different features. Basically, what's going on in North Carolina, and there's a fear that was going on, and I'm not trying to get people to be scared. But when one incident happened, maybe you overlook it, okay? But when you have multiple incidents, then you start to wonder, is it just these areas, these rural areas in this country? Okay. Now, there was an incident where a hardworking truck driver, a black man, he had his dog with him, and he was in a rural part of North Carolina, and he was out there doing his job, waiting for the construction workers to tell him where he needed to go. Okay. But these guys were so rude to him, and they were approaching him with so many slurs. They were approaching him, talking to him in any kind of way. They were just all of the threats that you seen. It was like unbelievable. All these people. It reminded me of a scene back in the days of the 1950s. Okay, it reminds me of the days in the 1950s where where they take a black man and they all yelling at that black man at one time. They all yelling at him at one time, and he's confused. He don't know what to do. He's scared. He's amongst all of these people. Now you would think that these people would be professional. This is their job site. You would think that they would be professional. But these people were very aggressive to the man. Okay, they were trying to manhandle him. Okay, they were trying to manhandle him to the point where one of the guys slammed the door on his dog. Okay, to the point where they slammed the door on his dog. Now, what I'm trying to understand is, I understand that a lot of us brothers like to turn the other cheek. But they got the wrong melanated man. That brother was sitting there saying, "Yes, sir." I don't know what city the brother was from, and I'm not trying to, check his manhood or whatever. I would never do that. He seemed like a genuine good brother. But these men are harassing this man, and he's just totally respecting him. And some of us want to keep our jobs. Some of these brothers work for companies. They're not owner operators. And they're afraid that these companies are going to call a company and get them fired off the job. So they're afraid that if they say the wrong things, that they might lose their job. But let me tell you something. There's not a job in the world, if I can't get respect on that job, that I'm going to take disrespect from a people. I'm not going to take no disrespect from nobody. Every man put on pants just like you do. And I just felt so bad for the man. He just kept apologizing to the supervisor he just kept saying, I'm sorry, sir, I'm sorry, sir." And they made him go to the end of the line. They said, "Go back to the end of the line. We're not serving you. We're not going to serve you." From the incident that happened that I just did this morning, the video that I did early this morning, if you guys didn't get a chance to see the live in Cincinnati, Ohio, when supremacist of a Russian white supremacist slapped a black man in the face, slapped a black man in his face, and a mob of black people went to whipping his behind. Now, I didn't. I like I said before. I don't believe in you know I don't believe in violence, but I believe self defense is necessary. I believe self defense is necessary, and I'm concerned about our brothers and sisters who are out here driving over the road like myself. Because there was a young man a couple of months ago in North Carolina. I can't figure out what part of North Carolina, but there's a young man who probably just got out of driving school. He couldn't have been no longer than, no older than 22 years old, 21 years old, and his first trucking job. And the young man he was from Chicago, and his delivery was in North Carolina. He never made it back to, he never made it back to Chicago. They say he went into Walmart and bought a rope and he hung himself, allegedly. And we know, why would this young man travel from Chicago all the way to North Carolina to unalive himself? We already had the incident where the twins not far from away from Carolina. I mean Carolina, which right there in Georgia, where these twins were supposed to be catching the plane in Atlanta, Georgia, and they never made it to where they were supposed to get. They ended up in the mountains, and they were hung by the tree. So you think that racism still don't exist in this country? It's heating up even more. We're in the hottest part of the season, and it's a lot of this is lynching season. And if you're going to be delusional to believe that they got good people, yes, they got good people out here, but they still have racism that exists out here, and they still have people who've been raised by white supremacists who still believe in bad things towards our people. And I want you guys to understand this. These people work in construction. These people work in the police department. They said that the police department was a part of an investigation of the young man in Chicago because the last people that the young man saw was the police officer. And then the police officer wrote a statement that after they met up with him, he went into a Walmart, allegedly, and unalived himself. Some of these white supremacists are fire department people, work in the fire department. Some of these white supremacists are teachers in school. Some of these white supremacists are police officers, construction workers. And if you believe that it's over, you're really not living in reality. Every time I drive this truck, I'm always looking out. And I always tell my wife and children, pray for me that I come home. Because you never know when it could be your last time and you don't make it back. And that's the realization. A lot of you guys don't understand. A lot of people get into these jobs. They want to change their lives around, career. There's a lot of people who don't like to see black people driving trucks. You wouldn't believe the racism in the trucking industry. How many people that are very intimidated by black people and don't want them to have them jobs. Don't believe, don't think that we should be working and making this kind of money. Same like in the train station, working for the trains. Same like with the unions. They try to keep people out of unions. Same thing like on the river. I used to before I decided to get in truck driving. I was trying to be a boat captain on the river in Louisiana, and I found out racism on the river. All of the racism that I was receiving. I was a deckhand, and how they treated us awful on the river. I felt so out of place. I felt like I was going, if they got a chance, they would throw me in the river. They had a young man that was mysteriously thrown in the Mississippi River, and he was a deckhand. So we can't be trusting this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you said on truckers are allowed to carry. In certain states, they don't. Certain states you can't bring a gun across state lines. But I'm telling you that truck drivers are not listening. Okay, truck drivers are not listening to the rules. Okay, don't think that truck drivers are listening to the rules. Okay, so there's a lot of things that truck drivers are going through now. They're setting up truck drivers today with women. That's why I tell all these young men out here, focus on your money and stop trying to get in these little towns and have a good time at a bar. Y'all saw what happened to the young man, a truck driver who went into a bar, a rural town, and he went into a bar and he went to go get him a drink, and a whole bunch of bikers that were in there. And these bikers jumped him in that and said that he didn't want to give a tab. Come to be, these were white supremacists that were racist and calling him out his name. And they jumped that black man in the bar and they beat him. So I don't have time to be in somebody's rural bar. You should be trying to make that money and get the hell out and get your ass back home. There's a lot of brothers out here who stop into these, rather you looking for a woman or whatever you're doing. You don't understand that your life could be on the line. See, I'm 50 years old. I ain't got time to be running state to state. I don't. I'm too old for all that. I seen young men who like to go party in these party states like Atlanta. I had a trainer years ago who would drop me, keep me in the truck, and he'll be up in the club. I don't feel you make money when you out here in these states. If you got a truck driver who spend more time in these states and not making the money, then they out here doing other things. But you travel into these cities, you don't know people, and you are target. You don't understand that you are target, but you are target. You're not on your turf. Some of these places are not people that look like you. North Carolina have some towns where there's black people, just black town, but they have some rural parts in North Carolina that you don't want to be caught in the dark. I don't care if you're running out of drive service. You get to where you got to get with some people at. Do not shut down in these sundown towns. That's my advice to some of you young brothers. Something is going on. And if you think racism has ended, you out your mind. I just heard the vice president um, called on. They're trying to have a hate crime against the black people that had to fight against the YT people in Cincinnati, and they want to call a hate crime, even though the Russian man slapped the black man in the face. Don't ever think that you are on the same playing field as your oppressor. Don't be naive and think that you are on the same playing field, because you're not. As much as you want to believe that you are, you're not. And that just is what it is. So we're gonna read this comment, one of my superstar comments. Yeah, they better they better they trust these wicked ass females. Yeah, a lot of them get caught up with females. A lot of them do. A lot of young men, man. They get caught up with females. They use trucker as an excuse. A lot of them get into trucking industry. They never been away from their home, never been away from their old lady, never been away from their house. They're seeing something different. But they don't understand that they're a target out here. And they got all kinds of dangers of being a truck driver. There's so many temptations out here and so many dangerous things out here to get into. And you got to beware of that, young people. And I've done this content. I've been doing multiple different content. Just coming up with some new things to keep my people aware of the dangers that is going on. And I'm going to keep bringing different content every second I can. Because our people have to wake up and stop living in the delusion that everybody loves you. That you are living in a different world and that everybody give a damn about you. You loving all the people you're getting close to people. You don't trust anybody. When you're out in this world, you can't trust anybody if it ain't your family. So you got to be careful. Because there's gonna be a time where you say one on that last call to your mama, your sister, your wife, or your children. May not get your ass back. So that young man was saying he was scared for his life because he probably was running out of drive time. He probably didn't know what to do. He kept saying, yes, sir, yes, this. And he even told the man, you slammed my dog. The man didn't give a damn about the dog. He slammed the dog paw into the dog. They're supposed to love animals. And they were all threatening. See, when they all get around and they get see, when they feel like they got you scared, they're like vultures that's surrounded around prey. And they all pointing their fingers and they all screaming and trying to intimidate you. That's the reality. That's the reality. Are all YT people like that? No. There are some great YT people that you probably can trust in more than a black person in America. There are some YT people that got your back. There are some Mexicans that got your back. But don't be delusional to white supremacists that's still living here in this country and still jealous and still don't wondering why you driving a truck, why you own a nice car, why you own your own house. They still got people that believe that way. Don't be delusional to life the way it is. I teach my children. Just because people treat you nice don't mean you're not the prey. And you are the prey to your own people and you're the prey to supremacy. Because you got jealousy among your own people. You got your own people setting you up and don't want to see you doing good. They're waiting for you to make a mistake. They're waiting for you to be just as poor as them. And I always tell my people all the time, surround yourself around people that matter. Surround yourself around successful people. Because if you're around somebody who's broke, you're going to have a broke mentality. If you're around somebody who wants something for themselves, you're going to want something for yourself. But if you're around somebody who just moping all day, blaming the system, blaming the YT man all day long, why you cannot escape your conditions. And you wonder why they last and they looking at you and always begging you, bringing you down right there with them. Y'all know me. I talk about other people, but I hold my own people accountable. That's one of my biggest pet peeves of the way I do content. I'm not going to talk about another group unless I'm still going to talk about my own people. Because we got people that look just like you or a threat to you too. You got brothers who you thought was your friend stabbing you in your back. You're going on a road. You go on the road, you're thinking you got one of your good friends after your wife, after your girlfriend. So you can't trust in people just because of the skin color. And I always tell people, young men, if you're going to get in a truck driver, if she don't be patient while you out here making this bread, she ain't never been for you in the first place. She's out here cheating on you and doing all this stuff to you, and you can't focus on the road and out on the work, she ain't never been yours in the first place. It's not the one for you. If you got to worry about what she doing, that's why half of you young brothers can't make money because you're worrying about what your woman doing. Or vice versa, if you are a man, a woman truck driver worrying about what your man doing, you will never make money. You ain't gonna never build nothing because you're still worrying about what the other half do. I keep telling y'all, you got to love yourself first. Once you love you, that person is going to respect you. Once you understand your value, they're gonna look at you and they're gonna gain to respect you. But a person ain't gonna respect you when you don't respect you, when you don't give a damn about you. You know how many men and women, once they feel like they got you, you heard me? They got you. They don't need to comb their hair no more. They don't need to get a haircut no more. They don't like to get dressed no more. Because they got you. They got you. Live a spontaneous life. You should always be trying to prove something in relationships. There's something that you always got to prove. I'd like to thank y'all for coming in and listening to my rant. Truck drivers, be aware. It's dangerous out here. Y'all pray for me. I'm out here too. Y'all look out for me too. If you got a little prayer in your heart, look out for me too. You know, I want to get back home to my people too. You know what I'm saying? I think about that all the time, Brenda. You got to worry about accidents. Many times we see our fellow truck drivers, they passing away out here on the highway. You got to worry about brothers out here who have illnesses and they passing away in these trucks. Imagine passing away with these curtains are closed and nobody know you up in these trucks. And you're screaming for help and nobody can hear you. And you're all alone. Y'all don't know what truck drivers have to go through just to make a dollar, just to have a good livelihood for your family. Truck drivers risk a lot. These men, women risk a lot just to make a quick dollar. And that's why I didn't want my sons to do what I wanted, what I'm doing. I didn't want my children to copy what daddy's doing. It's not because I wanted them to have a life. I had to do truck driver for desperate because I lost a major job that was paying me good money, and I needed to replace that money with the same kind of money. I told my children, y'all can't do what I'm doing. It has its benefits, but it take you away from life. You'll watch yourself age in this damn truck. You're young. I started at 20, 29 years old, 30 years old. I'm 50 years old. You watch yourself age in this truck. It's like you're living in a time machine. It's like you're living in a time machine. So live your life. Some of you guys, if you're built for it, go out and do it. It's not for everybody. Truck driving is not for everybody. It's only for the strong. If you can't trust your wife or your husband, don't get your ass into this. If you can't trust your wife or your husband or girlfriend or boyfriend, because you ain't gonna make no money stressing. You ain't gonna make no money stressing. I'd like to thank all you guys for subscribing to the channel, hitting the like buttons. I will be bringing more content almost every day. I'm trying to bring y'all more content. Y'all make sure y'all share. Y'all hit the like buttons. Y'all remember that Peanut Nola 504 is one of the OGs. That is one of the realest. Okay, you might not like what I'm saying, but maybe one day you will understand that what he's telling you, you can value and use in your life. I want you to understand it. Take what I'm telling you not as an insult, but take it as an OG, just telling you by love. Okay? Y'all have a beautiful day.